Hey Dan, we want to know specifically what hammock stuff you're using. Okay. The world of hammock camping is like literally mind-blowing. The amount of equipment, the amount of setups. Everybody has their own little tweaks and likes and dislikes about it. So I'm going to show you today how I actually have my system set up, why I chose the things I chose with my hammock and my suspension system itself. And then, you know, maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. I don't know. It's going to give everybody a little bit something to watch and maybe a couple ideas. For years and years, I used an Enos hammock. I was happy with it. I used it only in the summertime, wintertime, I could never camp. Then I decided I was gonna upgrade. So I started looking around, I talked to my friends who had winter hammock camping setups, and I knew right away I was doing the underquilt thing. I knew it, so that's what I was gonna do. My underquilt's on there right now. That's from Hammock Gear. Now, the reason I chose Hammock Gear at the time was I looked around at a couple places who were making underquilts. They're the only ones at that time who had material that was like green and browns. That's what I wanted. That's what I got, 0 degree rated. So I wanted to start with that because knowing I was gonna cold weather camp with this hammock sort of is how I started the build. So I knew I was gonna have an underquilt. So we went with that. We're gonna strip that away and then we'll talk about the hammock setup itself. All right, so the hammock itself is the XL version of the Dutchware Chameleon. Now the reason that I went with that and I wanted to upgrade that was number one, Dutch is from Pennsylvania. I like Dutch and all the guys and girls at Dutchware. And I love the fact that I can sleep flat. So if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say that, think about traditional hammock camping. So we have one tree here, other tree there. Normally you would lay, and the shape of what that hammock looks like right now is what your body would contour like. But the way that Dutch sews the hammocks and the way that the material is, if you turn your body slightly, that your feet are pointing away from the tree and your head is pointing away from the other tree, you lay flat. It's bizarre, but it works. You lay flat. You can sleep on your stomach, you can sleep on your side, and you're laying flat. I love that. So those things alone made me get that. Now that is Hexon material. I don't know what weight fabric it is. It didn't really matter to me all that much because I really don't care too much about being ultralight or ultra, it just doesn't matter to me. It is a single layer hammock. Now the reason I didn't go with double layer is because I knew I was gonna do the whole underquilt thing, and in the summertime I thought if it's super hot and I'm sleeping in it anyway, I don't need that second layer in there. So I just didn't go with the second layer. Plus it was a little bit more money and I was like, I didn't see any reason I need that. Went with the bug net for sure. I definitely like that in the summertime, and I just let it set up year round. I know I could probably take it off for the winter, but I just leave it on for the winter and it works fine. On the ridge line, I have one of these accessory bags hanging. This thing is awesome. If you have a hammock, you need one of these accessory bags. You keep your flashlight in here at night or headlamp. You can keep your phone and your charger on the other side. Perfect. Now with my suspension, I went with spider straps with sewn in Dutch hooks. So I just take this Dutch hook right here and it's very quick and it's done. That simple. My hammock is already hanging. And then my adjustment point is a clinch buckle. Now, I'm set up a little bit different here with the clinch buckle than most people. I actually have this on my continuous loop off of my hammock. The reason why I have it set up like this is because I really don't care about removing my straps. I actually like my straps attached to my hammock. If I really need to take them off, I can, but I really don't care too much about it. I don't do much hiking. So my setup is all-in-one inclusive inside my bag. It's really easy. I don't care, again, to carry my straps separate if they're wet. I like it all together. And it's just one less thing I have to think about. I grab my hammock, the entire setup is there, especially for summertime. I don't have to worry about anything else. Now I just store my hammock in the bag that it came in. Straps and everything are in here. So I take that Dutch clip, you can see it is just hooked onto the end there. And then when I get to my location, it doesn't matter if it's wet out, if it's snowy out, I can just take this strap right out of the bag and then I just really quickly set that side up. The whole hammock is still in this bag. I can grab the other clip, I could pull this out, and it's all self-contained. I don't have to worry about my hammock falling on the ground, getting wet, getting muddy, anything like that. I left dirty out because all my gear is absolutely filthy all the time. And that, my friends, is my hammock setup. So like I said, I started this whole thing with just an Eno hammock. I used it a very long time. I even camped a little bit in the winter with it. It was always a hassle. It just felt like there had to be an easier way. And then a lot of friends of mine were getting into hammock camping. They were like, you need to get this, you need to get that. I did some research and I knew starting off I was gonna go with an underquilt. I wanted that because I slept with one. I thought, this is great. I wanted to upgrade my hammock. I wanted the bug net. I wanted more features. I found Dutch and that's what I went with. And then from there, my mindset was, what is quick, easy, and effective? And this is it. I mean, it's set up, it's ready to go. In the summertime, all I'm carrying is this thing along with me, and then of course a blanket or like a military poncho liner or something like that for inside. And then in the winter, I just have to add in my over-under quilt, and I'm good. Of course, tarp setup, we could talk about that in another video. But as far as hammock goes, that's my hammock setup, how I have it set up for all 4 seasons, and it works out great. So this was Dan Walker, Coalcracker Bushcraft. Hope you enjoyed this video. As always, check us out at coalcrackerbushcraft.com. And until next video, stay in the woods, or hang in the woods, be in the woods.